What's going down, y'all, man? Damn, you ready? Honestly, what I'm trying to talk about today is the blog era of hip-hop and why I feel like that's the best. So I am firmly placed in Gen Z, and with that being the case, most people would assume that like I have like a automatic bias towards the SoundCloud era. And like I gotta be honest, like a lot of great artists came from that era, and I love a lot of the music that came from the SoundCloud era. But honestly, it's something that, brings me to the era that like directly preceded that era, and that's the blog era. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like A, there was no bad in either of those eras, and also B, that I was especially tapped in with the blog era when it was happening, because I was a kid when that was going on. So a lot of that I just got tapped into from my older siblings and my older cousins who would play that music when I was around or in the car or whatever. So yeah, but in the years since, I've done a lot of looking back at different eras of hip-hop, and honestly I just keep coming back to the blog era as something that was particularly special, honestly. Like, the blog era gave us classic projects like So Far Gone, Thank Me Later, Overly Dedicated, Good Kid, Mad City, Friday Night Lights, The Warm Up, Live Love ASAP, Cushion OJ, and so many other classic projects from artists that are like we go on to call GOATs at this point. And that's not even to mention that most of those artists have been able to craft out careers that have been long lasting but also extremely lucrative for themselves. I mean, like I said, a lot of those artists we currently look at as, greats, and even some of them look at them as like the greatest of all time in their fields, came from this era of music. I'm not here to convince you that this era is the best, even though it is, in my opinion. I'm just here to elaborate on why I love this era so much. I've definitely gone back and listened to tons of music from the 90s and early 2000s, but more than anything, I find myself falling in love the most with the artists from this era and going back to listen to that the most. The artists from this era were not only able to make radio-friendly bangers that, still can get played in the club today, but they're also able to make songs that shifted the culture. They were able to make songs that were moments and that really were able to craft lifelong fans off of specific songs. The SoundCloud era, in comparison, had more artists falling into irrelevancy, and even some of the ones that didn't just aren't doing so hot right now. I mean, like, there are like a slim few SoundCloud artists who were able to like really create a career for themselves that is still going on today and is going just as well, if not better, at this point. I think the best example of a SoundCloud artist who is still doing their thing in a big way is Playboi Carti. I mean, he has like a cult of fans, and like his last album just went crazy doing numbers and all that stuff. So yeah, he's probably the best doing in the SoundCloud era right now. But after him, like, it's a huge gap until you get to the next artist that is, like I said, still as successful, if not more successful today. Now, I know there's been like a lot of deaths in the SoundCloud era, but like even more than the people that died in the SoundCloud era, we've just had a lot of people just like falling off and losing the traction that they once had and losing that momentum that they had during that time in their careers. Maybe I'll go deeper into this sometime and talk a little bit more about hidden gems and specific projects that I like a lot. But right now we're a little busy working on my mixtape Egress 2, and it's honestly shaping up not to just be a good project, but to be an incredible project that I've been told shows shades of Friday Night Lights. So while you guys are getting caught up, if you haven't heard yet, or just revisiting some of your blog era favorites, I'm over here crafting this project, which is sure to give you a little hit of nostalgia, but also going to give you something new that is going to be fresh and sure to be your next favorite project. Later.